Hello and welcome to a video on volume of composite shapes. The reason I decided to make this video is I saw that not many students handed in the worksheet on finding the area of composite shapes. So I was worried that you didn't understand how to do it. So now you'll have all the problems here in this video. And when you go to submit your exercise, you just show all your work and you'll know that the answers are correct if they match the ones in this video. So let's start with number one. Find the volume of the shaded region. The first thing you have to do is you have to decide what you have. So I see a cone on top of a prism. So if I find the prism and I add it to the volume of a cone, volume of a prism plus the volume of a cone, and I should be able to find the total volume. So the volume of a prism is the area of the base. So the base in our case would be length times width. And then you multiply it by the height. So length times width times height. The volume of a cone is going to be pi r squared. Again, the area of the base, well, the base here is a circle, so we're going to have pi times the radius squared times the height of the cone, and then we divide by 3. We can now start to plug in our values here. Length times width times height for this prism is going to be 20 times 18 times 7. Here I know that pi is going to be 3.14. The radius is going to be this half of the width of the rectangle. So here we have all the way across is 20. That means half is going to be 10. And then the height of the cone is also 10. Now it's just a matter of plugging these values into my calculator here. So 20 times 18 times 7 is going to be 2,520. And then if I do 3.14 times 10 squared, which is 10 times 10 or 100 times 10 divided by 3, I get 1,046.67. I add these up and I get a total of 3,566.67. I can see my units are feet, so that's going to be feet cubed. Let's take a look at the next one. In this one, I have a triangular prism and it looks like a rectangular prism again, cut out of the triangular prism. So I have the triangular prism minus the rectangular prism. And then I should be able to find the volume of the shaded region. So the volume of a prism is the same no matter what. We find the area of the base and we multiply by the height. So a triangular prism is going to be base times height divided by 2 times, I'm going to call it capital H, or big height of the prism. And then the volume of the rectangular prism is going to be length times width times height. Now we can plug some numbers in here. So I'm looking at this triangle right here, and I can see that the base times height divided by 2 is going to be 26 times 18. And my big height, right, the height of the prism is going to be 22. write it like that. Minus length times width times height. So if I look in here, I can see that I have 22, 14, and 13. Now it's just about crunching numbers. So first things first, if I do 26 times 18 times 22, 26 times 18 divided by 2 times 22. You could also do 26 times 18 times 11. It's all the same. And I would get 5,148. Minus 22 times 14 times 13 is going to be 4,004. Subtracting those, I get 1,144. And that's in inches cubed. Let's try the third one. Similar problem here. I have a rectangular prism with a cylinder cut out of it. So I have, again, prism minus cylinder. So a volume of a prism is length times width times height. Volume of a cylinder is going to be the area of the base, or pi r squared, times the height. Let's plug our numbers in here. For the rectangular prism, I have 20, 12, and 15. For the cylinder, I have pi, which is 3.14. A radius of 5. Right? The radius is right here. And a height. So it's not... the height of the cylinder is only 18. So just be careful of that right there, because it's not as long as the cylinder. It's not as long as the prism. So the prism's 20, the cylinder's only 18. Okay, so now if I do 20 times 12 times 15 in my calculator, I get 3,600. And then in my calculator, if I do 3.14 times 5 squared times 18, I get 1,413. And then if I subtract those two numbers, I get 2,187. That's going to be yards cubed. Let's look at number 4. In number 4, I have a cylinder, and I have a half of a sphere. So we have a half sphere plus a cylinder. So if I'm taking half of a sphere, I'm going to do 4/3 pi radius cubed, all divided by 2. And I'm going to add that to the cylinder, which is pi r squared times the height. Let's plug some numbers in here. So I have, first things first, I have 4 times 3.14 times the radius. So the radius is, again, only half. That's going to be 8 cubed, divided by 3, and then divided by 2. So when we do those calculations, we'll have to make sure we do that. Then on the cylinder side, I have 3.14 times 8 again squared times the height of the cylinder, which is 9. So in my calculator, if I do 4 times 3.14 times 8 cubed divided by 3 divided by 2, I get 1,071. It looks like 0.79 plus, and then I do the cylinder, 3.14 times 8 squared times 9, and I get 1,808. And it looks like that's 0.64. And then if I add those two numbers up, I get 2,880.43. And it's going to be feet cubed. Okay, let's try the fifth one. The fifth one, it looks like I have 2 spheres. So I have 2 half spheres and 1 whole sphere for a total of 2 spheres. So to get 2 spheres, I just have to do 2 times 4 pi r cubed divided by 3. We have all the information we need here. So we have 2 times 4 times 3.14 times 6 cubed, all divided by 3. If I work out what's inside first, 4 times 3.14 times 6 times 6 times 6, all that divided by 3, I get 2 times 904.32. And then finally, I'm just going to take that and I'm going to multiply by 2. So 904.32 times 2 is going to be 1,808.64. And it looks like that's inches cubed. Okay, there's one more problem left on the worksheet, and it is a rectangular prism with a pyramid cut out. So I have a prism minus a pyramid. Prism, again, area of the base times the height. So I have length times width times height. And the area, the volume of a pyramid starts the same, length times width times height. But we have to remember to divide by 3. So I'm going to start with length times width times height. I'm going to have 20 times 28 times 12. And then with the pyramid, I'm going to have 28 times 12 times 20. All divided by 3. So notice the difference here. The heights are the same. The length and the width are the same. Oh, it's just in a different order. But it's all the same. So we just divide by 3. And then 20 times 28 times 12 is 6,720 minus, and then the volume of the pyramid is 2,240. And then if I subtract these two, I get 4,480. and that's going to be yards cubed. All right. So if you have any questions, especially before the assessment that is coming up, um, feel free to send an email or ask in class or in Google Classroom. Thanks.